Yep, we're getting political. So Tom Paine was nowadays we would call him a left-wing activist. What he was at the time was a pamphleteer, or someone that wrote political texts in the sort of mid to late, but mostly late 18th century. He does have some texts that are fairly well known that are name dropped in the song: "The Age of Reason," "The Rights of Man," and "Common Sense." In all of those, he advocates for things like the concept of human rights and a secular state. You know, small things like that, which made him a lot of enemies, including the British government, members of the American government, Robespierre. Yeah, he moved to America when he was fairly young, started getting very political, moved to France, was very active in the revolution, but then was on the wrong side of the inevitable schism in the people who actually instigated the revolution, and ended up being imprisoned. Wrote one of his books in prison, went back to America, and he campaigned for a lot of stuff that I'm not going to list off all of here, but nowadays we would definitely call him a socialist, which was a big deal in the 18th century. When he died, he wanted to be buried in a Quaker graveyard, but they wouldn't let him because he was, again, very vocally critical of Christianity and the general concept of organized religion. So he ended up being buried under a tree on the farm that he owned. Later in 1819, an English political activist wanted to bring him back to England, especially, you're in the aftermath of Peterloo at this point, so it's kind of, look, here is a martyr to the cause, even though he died of natural causes. But, don't let that get in the way of a good story. But he couldn't be buried in an English churchyard either, because of a combination of that and being a convicted criminal in England. Stuff like seditious libel, but it still counts. And at some point between this other activist dying in the 1830s and, later, his remains vanished. When the song says "where he lies nobody knows," that is a literally true statement. People have claimed to find like parts of his body, but no one actually knows where he is. The song itself is from the 1990s by Graham Moore. There's not really a lot to say about the actual writing of the song, but I like it. I like Tom Paine, and I hope you like it too. As I set out one evening by the river of discontent, I bumped right into old Tom Paine as a running down the road he went. Said, "I can't stop right now, child. King George is after me. He'll have a rope around my throat and hang me on the Liberty Tree. Now we'll dance to Tom Paine's bones. Dance to Tom Paine's bones. Dance in the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Paine's bones." Said I just spoke about freedom, justice for everyone. But ever since the first word I spoke, I've been looking down the barrel of a gun. Let's say I preach revolution. Let me say in my defense, and all I did wherever I went was talk a lot of common sense. Now I'll dance to Tom Paine's bones. Dance to Tom Paine's bones. Dance in the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Paine's bones. Old Tom Paine, he ran so fast, he left me standing still. There I was, piece of paper in my hand, standing at the top of the hill. Said, "This is the age of reason. These are the rights of man. Kick off religion and monarchy." It was written there in Tom Paine's plan. Now I'll dance to Tom Paine's bones. Dance Tom Paine's bones, dancing the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Paine's bones. Old Tom Paine, there he lies. Nobody laughs, nobody cries. Where he's gone or how he fares, nobody knows, nobody cares. But I will dance to Tom Paine's bones. Dance to Tom Paine's bones, dancing the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Paine's bones. Now dance to Tom Paine's bones, dance to Tom Paine's bones, dancing the oldest boots I own to the rhythm of Tom Paine's bones.